Welcome to NovaTech DistribuTECH 2016. My name is Mark Matassa, and I want to talk about our capabilities and systems and services. Obviously, NovaTech provides hardware, the Orions and Vitronics hardware, but we go beyond that. We have systems and services, and I want to go through some of our capabilities today. These are actually some of the cabinets that we have here in our booth today. One of which is a RTU cabinet with an HMI screen and several of our I/O products. We also have many of third-party products included in the cabinets. And if you visit, go right around the corner here, you can see these cabinets. We built these ourselves. As you see here, we have a standard 90-inch by 36-inch wide cabinet with an Orion and some other third-party equipment, another touch screen and so forth. This is another 72-inch. We have several customers that combine the 90-inch cabinet, and then the secondary cabinet might be a 72-inch cabinet just because of space considerations and so forth. The point is that quite often the customer will tell us exactly what they need for their substations. Other times we help them design a cabinet specifically for them. This is a rack filled with our NovaTech DDIO and DCIO, our I/O products, along with an Orion and a touchscreen monitor. It has a pull-out keyboard and mouse, and notice here the wiring that we've done for this particular cabinet. And we would take this cabinet quite often, deliver it to the customer, and then install the wiring and so forth within the customer's substation. Another example of a double door RTU cabinet. Many times customers don't have room for a double door, but in this particular case they did, and you open up one side of this cabinet with the touchscreen monitor, and then opens up to, in this particular case, quite a few of our I/O modules, and we install these, program them, and so forth. And this is another example of some of our thermocouple output work that we have done. You notice the DCIO here, which is a combination of digital inputs, digital outputs, and analog inputs. And we've done the wiring work as well to the termination blocks. Typically the customer will let us know what type of termination block, but other times they leave it up to us and we provide the blocks on our own. This is an example of our high-density 878 I/O. This is 878 I/O here, wired and installed in these cabinets. These blank panels are available for additional expansion room, or these I/O modules are sitting behind these panels in some cases. Notice the wiring work and so forth. Notice the rec video monitor here that's connected directly to the Orion LX via a VGA port, and we typically program that. It shows one-line diagrams. Many customers provide drawings of what they want to see on the one-line diagram, and then we use our own Inkscape drawing package and develop and publish these video screens for the customer specific application. As you see here, this is the back side of the panel with the keyboard and the Orion. This has multiple Orions connected, and it has connected directly to the video screen, and it has other third-party equipment. It may have a GPS device in it. It might have a Garrett-Com or a rugged-Com switch or a Moxa switch. We really don't care what type of switch they use, but it's typically we get told what the customer would like, and we use that. So But we set up the switch, we connect the devices, we test them, and so forth. Many cabinets like this we deliver to the site. We'll install, wire them, and then help with commissioning and so forth. Just some more examples of some of the RTU work that we've done in the past. This is an interesting project in the Keys of Florida. It was with Keys Energy, and we delivered 5 panels, and we also installed these and commissioned them. I believe this was installed and commissioned by one person, one of our NovaTech people. And as you can see, it's quite extensive, but the way it's delivered to the site, it becomes very easy for one person to manipulate them, install, the wire, and so forth. It's basically a one-person job, and they typically do that maybe a cabinet in a day or two.
We've got the trail from Owens Mills.
This is our environmental testing area. We do have we do put our we have our equipment placed in these devices, testing for very low temperatures and so forth. We have a factory acceptance test area within our Lenexa facility. We also have a facility in Owens Mills that we can do factory acceptance testing, and also at our Bitronics facility in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we have done factory acceptance testing there as well. But many times we'll develop the application, invite the customer over for a factory acceptance test. They come, they have their checklist of items they want to see. They go through the process, and then once they approve the system, we go through an additional test, basically, and then package the system up for shipment and ship it to the site directly. This is another view of our factory acceptance room. This is an example of some of the Bitronics work that we've done for one of the East Coast utilities. As you can see on the left side, we have many of our M871 Bitronics devices. What you see in the center is an example of the displays for these devices mounted in a fashion that can be brought to the substation, installed very easily and within the same rack. This is an example after it was installed at the substation, and you can see it was predetermined that we could fit this between 2 old RTUs. We brought them in and we installed them, and later replaced these RTUs with some of the 90-inch rack cabinets that you saw earlier, without having to move the devices. Many times what this particular customer had in mind was that these devices, based on PGM requirements, had to collect analog data, so that even before the RTU was installed, they were collecting the analog data several days before the RTU was installed. And so we came in with a temporary Orion, connected these to the devices, collected that data, sent that data to PGM. This is some of the hard work that some of these substations aren't very easy to get to or get into. Some of these large cabinets there's basically a hole in the floor. We have to have cranes or some type of winch or some type of device to get that up through the floor, straighten it up, and mount it. This cabinet is the one that's coming up through the floor here. If you have any questions, please call NovaTech. My name is, once again, Mark Matassa, and you can also reach Kevin Johnson, our VP of Corporate Business Development.